Today I have been asked to explain our hand files. What grit are they? What do the grits mean? Is it higher, mean finer? Is it lower, mean finer? What is it? And when would you use them? So today I'm going to go over our hand files. Okay, let's just pull them all out at first. So we have our buffer, our 180 buffer. We have a 180 combo with buffer. We have a 100 grit file. Let's get this so you guys can see it. We have a 150 grit file, and we have a 240 combo. So one thing I have to fix that's bugging me is the Y's are not facing the same way, and then we have to fix it by grit. So let's go this way. We're gonna go 240, 180, 180 buffer, 150, 100. Okay, actually right now we're gonna take the buffer out of play. We're just gonna deal with the files. The file parts of the combos at least. Okay, so what is the difference between these? First of all, we have 240, 180, 150, 100. The higher the number, the finer the grit. So coarses, medium, 180 is still in the medium range. It's not far from a 150, and then 240 is fine. It's a fine file. And then the buffer grits, they change too, as far as that, but we're going to get into the buffers because buffer grit versus file grit is different. So we'll come back to that. Okay, so when would I use these? So personal favorite, all-time favorite is my 150. I pretty much use that for everything. If you don't electrophile for your prep work, this is what I would use for my prep work. You could use the 100, but again, I don't like to go too coarse with a natural nail prep, so that's why I like a medium file. It's just perfect for getting in there, getting the nice amount of texture to the nail plate, removing just the right amount of shine without doing damage to the nail. You could also use really the 180, but again, we call it the ride. The ride is how it feels on the nail. I like the ride of the 150. 180 again is in the medium grit range, so you could technically use that for a natural nail prep. Now 240, no, it's too fine. That's not what it's for. You don't want to prep with it. Basically, you're almost buffing the nail at that point, so you'll probably get lifting issues if you go that fine. Okay, when do I use these? Again, I like my 150, but where would I use the 100? 100 for me would be used after I've done a nail and I need to remove bulk or refine. So if you are a hand filer, you don't use an electric file, you could use this one to remove any excess that you need, take down the nail, whatever you need to do with that. If you do use the electric file, you could use this after as you're refining, getting that texture back on the enhancement before you apply your gel polish or your top coat. Again, 150 favorite. I know I'm gonna keep saying that, but I love this file. I've used this for years. I just love this file. Again, if you're a hand filer, if you don't use an electric file, you could use this to remove your bulk. You can also, what I use it for is after I remove the bulk with my electric file, I use this for my refinement, getting my sidewalls, getting everything nice and tight and smooth. Not smooth, but where it's all blended into itself. And then this is gonna leave it just the right texture for your gel polish or your top coat. So that is the 150. 180, pretty similar to the 150. Again, you can use it for the exact same things, kind of taking down the bulk. Again, I just like the zebra files. I have always preferred zebra files. So for me, I don't ever typically grab this one at all. We sell it, a lot of people love it. It's all preference at that point, but that's what that would be for. 240, let me go back to this. The 180 I did use when I did pedicures. I liked them for the toes because the toes are a little thicker than a manicure or natural nails on the hand. So I liked the grit on this. I used the 180 combo because I would use the 180 for their toes, and then I would use the buffer for on top of their toes to get it nice and smooth. So I lied. I did use them. That's what I used them for. 240. I love 240s for natural nails, natural nail manicures. You can use a 150 to shorten natural nails, right? But again, it's the ride. It's how it feels. And I prefer how a 240 feels on the natural nail. So this for me is what I refine natural nails with, shape them with. I love this file for that. And then again, a nice smooth, because this is the finest buffer. If they have any ridges, if you need to take them down, you can just do a little refining with this or a little buffing with this without worrying about that you're taking too much of the nail plate off and doing damage on their natural nails. So for me, 240 is the natural nail preference. Those are the files. Let's talk about our buffers. So we're gonna flip the 240 over, 180, and let's grab our 180 buffer. You won't see me typically grab a buffer too often. I will use the 180s are same grit. It's just this is double-sided. It's a combo with the file. I used to use a lot of the 180 when I didn't use a gel top coat or gel polish because back in the day when I first started out you didn't have top coats like that. It was a air dry polished top coat or some kind of thicker plastic type of a top coat, and you had to buff the nail smooth to make it look smooth. So that's where I used a lot of the 180. Now what I will use the 180 for right now is if I have any sharpness, like if you feel the edges and I have a little sharpness in there, I'll use this for that. That way, if I'm using a file, I sometimes risk tweaking my shape, and I don't want to do this. So not only am I taking the sharpness off, but I'm kind of might mess up my shape. This just kind of takes that nice sharpness off so they're not scratching people. I do love this for that. Same thing, you can use that. 240 buffer, again, natural nail. I like it for the natural nail. The 180, again, toes. If the toes have ridges, because the toes tend to be thicker than the hands, it's great for that. 240 natural nail. That, guys, is our files and what I use them for. I'm really curious to hear what your guys' favorites are, and if I missed anything that you like to use them for, let me know.
Thank you so much for watching our nail videos. To watch more, head right over here, and to subscribe to our channel, click right over here.